I want to start recording now. All right. Like I said earlier, what we are going to be showing you now is the key things, the basic things you need to know to be a Forex trader. The main thing is this: if you have gone through this part of Forex trading, where you have gone, I mean the basic part of Forex trading, and you're already a Forex trader, you might not find this training, how will I put it, informative enough, because everything we are going to say here might be something you have heard before or something you already know. So this class is strictly for beginners. So I welcome you all once again. The main reason why we are here is Forex market. Some people will be asking, what exactly is Forex? I've heard a lot of people call it in a lot of ways. Some people even call it Forex. Now, Forex, the word Forex is an acronym for foreign exchange. It is an acronym for foreign exchange. And that is what makes up the word Forex. So if you know that you have ever traveled outside the country or anywhere, or you have ever gone to these guys, what do you call them? Bureau de change guys, and say, okay, please, I want to change Naira for dollar. I want to change Naira for dollar, or I want to change dollar for Naira, or Naira for any other currency. What it means is that you have been involved in the Forex. But the difference between the Bureau de change guys and what we do here is the fact that we do this in from the comfort of our homes. You don't need to go out and look for someone who will tell you, okay, bring Naira and I give you dollar. Now, you all will agree with me that the world is currently going into the digital level now. Everything now is being digitalized. You see some people who they don't need to leave their house to sell their products. All they need to do is place adverts online, and you see people buying, and a lot of them even make more sales than people who have the shop. So in other words, what I'm saying is the Forex market is simply the exchange of one currency for another. Okay, sorry, let me make Peace the admin again so that she can control. I can't be control. Peace, I'm going to make you the admin. I can't be controlling all these people coming in and also talking. So let me try and make you the admin. Sorry guys, just a minute. Okay. All right, you have the host now. Hello, Peace, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You can go on.
Okay. All right. Just control the coming in and the other guys. All right. Like I was saying earlier, if you have ever traveled overseas or to another country and had to exchange your money for that country's currency, you have already participated in the Forex market. Now, when you buy US dollar, let's say you go to America or you want to go to America, and you decide to meet the Bureau de change guys and say, give me dollar, and you give them Naira. What this means is that you have been able to participate in the US economy. You are buying shares in the US economy, expecting. But most people don't know that. They think it's just ordinary change currency, collect Naira, take dollar. When you take another currency, what it means is that you are buying a share in that country's economy. Now, the foreign exchange has rates. When you go out there to the bank, you're going to see this, their board that they place around there. You have, we sell this and we buy dollar at this. Those are the current foreign exchange rates that are available. Now, what are the rates? The rates that buyer pay in order to exchange their currency for a different currency. This rate changes due to demand and supply. So what does this mean? This means that the major factor that determines the rate of a currency is the demand and supply for that currency. The major determinant of the forex market, of the currency exchange rate, is the supply and demand. And those of us who were able to do economics in school, I believe almost everybody did economics in school, you will know that we were taught that the demand, or when the demand for a particular commodity becomes very high, then the price of that commodity starts going high. And when the demand is higher than supply, what happens? The price of that commodity also keeps going up. But when the supply is higher, when people that are willing to sell are higher than those who are willing to buy, then the exchange rate starts decreasing. Now, most people will also, I was having a discussion with one of my friends. He said, the reason why Nigerian economy is the way it is now is because for the past few months, there are no investors coming into the country. If there are investors coming into a country, coming to buy their currency, coming to invest money into their country, the country's economy, you find out that the economy of that country begins to improve. And once the economy of that country begins to improve, the rate of their currency also increases. So these are the major determinants of currency exchange rate apart from demand and supply. We have the central bank. How does the central bank determine the exchange rate? They determine it by interest rates. In that they increase the interest rates. Sometimes the central bank might want to bring in more investors. What they need to do is to do what? To reduce the interest rate, and this will attract investors. And then the exchange rate can also be affected by quantitative easing done by the central bank. What is quantitative easing? That is the printing of new money. Also, another determinant of the exchange rate in the world is the national economy. The GDP, the gross domestic product. This means the number of products that a country produces and exports outside. Then we also have inflation. The rate of inflation also affects the exchange rate of any country or any currency. Currently in Nigeria, our exchange rate skyrocketed this year from about 11 point something to about 13 points. And some people are even arguing that it is more than 13 points. Now, what that has done for us is that has shot the value of Naira to dollar exchange from 360 to about 480, 470 right now. We have trade balance reports. We have employment statistics. These are all things that affect the national economy of a country, thereby also affecting the currency exchange rate of that country. And then we have political stability, politics. Then when you talk about politics, you find out that countries that their government is very stable, their currency is also very stable. Then there are also public statements. When you start trading Forex, you find out that there are things we call news. And some people actually make money trading the news. What do I mean by news? There are some things that maybe there is a particular breaking news that happens in a country. What happens? It's either it helps to bring investors into the country or it helps to chase away investors into the country. For instance, let's say there is a US goes into war with another country now. What that is going to do is that it's going to make a lot of people, investors, move their money from US to other countries, which they will believe at that point in time that are going to be safe havens. Then sometimes also change of officials, like America is about doing election, and currently the most unstable currency to trade right now, I'll tell you, is the US dollar. Why? Because the outcome of that election is not known yet. So the investors in the US economy are uncertain about the outcome of that election. So it is going to affect the country's economy because a lot of people might want to start moving their funds from investing in US to other countries. Then we also have military conflict. Now, how big is the Forex market? The Forex market happens to be the largest financial market in the world today. I believe that some people might have heard about the stock exchange market, but I'm here to shock you because stock exchange has been existing for a long time, but Forex has been existing for even longer than that. Because I always tell people the only reason why the Forex market will ever stop existing is if all the countries of the world decide to come together and use one currency, which is next to impossible. Because the question is this: which country will agree to use? Will Europe agree to use dollar, or will Nigeria agree to use dollar as their major currency? So it now boils down to the agreement between countries to use one currency. So I always say it is next to impossible. As far as the countries of the world have different currencies, I bet you the Forex market is going to remain. The Forex market currently does over $6.6 trillion. What you're looking at here is actually an old statistics. The New York Stock Exchange does $22.4 billion on a daily basis. Tokyo Stock Exchange does 18.9 billion on a daily basis. London Stock Exchange does 7.2 billion on a daily basis. But Forex market does an average of $6.6 trillion every single day. So this is the amount that exchange hand in the Forex market. And this money, this amount is available for you and I to get our own share. And that is what the Forex market is about. I can see from the chat box that someone is saying he or she has a question. Please, whatever question you have, just write it down somewhere, because if we start taking people's questions one after the other, we might end up not finishing this training today. So at the end of the training, we are going to give room for people who want to ask questions. So this is a more recent statistics saying that the daily currency trading volume rose from 5 point something to about 6.6 trillion in April 2019. Currently, I believe that if the statistics is taken, the Forex market does currently more than this now. So this is how big the market you're about to go into is. Now, the question is, how do you make money in the Forex market? Some people are still confused. Someone will just stay on his phone, press something, and then before you know it, he's happy that he has made money, or he's sad that he has lost money. How exactly do you make money from the Forex market? You make money from the Forex market by buying and selling. And when I talk about buying and selling, I'm not just talking about your normal go to the market, buy something or sell something. No, this is a different type of buying and selling. Now, what does this mean? It means that as a Forex trader, what you should be looking out to do is to buy a currency when the price of that currency is low, or when the exchange rate is low, expecting it to go high. And then when the exchange rate is very high, you sell that currency. Some people might not understand, because someone has asked me a question one day, said, how do you buy something when the price is low? And how do you sell? How do you sell? Sorry, someone is actually trying to sabotage my screen. Peace, can you please remove someone named Joaquin, please? Joaquin is trying to take over my screen, please. Hello, Queen of Peeps, are you there?
Yeah.
There's someone named Joaquin on this call. He's trying to take over my screen. Please remove him.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So
okay,
let me use something else that many people have heard about to give you an example so that you understand. Oh, God. Please, there is another George Washington. Kick him off as well. God. Okay, I think some people are here to actually sabotage our training, but I believe we are going to get above that. I have a lot of them. So as they are trying to do that, I'll just tell you their names so you kick them off. I've seen about 3 of them now. All
All
right.
right, just
So
the names right
let
now.
me give you an example. 2015, the the cryptocurrency Bitcoin was 250 something dollars at that time. One single Bitcoin was 256 or thereabout dollars. Fast forward to today, where the Bitcoin value of one Bitcoin is currently at $11,000 for one Bitcoin. Now, many people that bought Bitcoin, please remove Bill Clinton. Many people that bought Bitcoin during 2015 when it was at 200 and something dollars, remove Justin Casey. Oh God, what is this? There's one Justin Casey. All right. So in 2015, people that actually bought the crypto Bitcoin at 250 something dollars, currently they are worth over 10,000 US dollars right now. So when do you think is the best time to buy that Bitcoin? Is it now when the price is high, or before when the price was low? Of course, when the price was low. And now people who have a lot of Bitcoins are now trying to sell because the price is high now. So they're trying to sell and make profit. So that is the same thing we do in the Forex market. We buy a currency when it is low and sell it when it is high. So we are here to teach you how to trade the Forex market with confidence. So what I'm going to tell you is this. Do not be like every other person out there that gamble away their money in the Forex market. A lot of people will tell you people lose their money in the Forex market. People lose their money in the Forex market. Now the question is that true or false? I will tell you sincerely that is true. The only reason you lose your money in the Forex market is if you don't understand the idea or what you are going into before you start trading. So you need to settle down, just like when you entered your university, you took 5 or 4 years to study whatever you were about to become. And after that 5 years, you graduated and you came out. You didn't say, no, I'm in school, I'm studying economics. Let me go and be working with the bank first as I'm studying economics. The mistake that a lot of people make in Forex market is that while they are learning, they are also trying so hard to trade while in the learning process. So you need to settle down and learn about the Forex market before you actually decide to go into it. So do not gamble with your hard-earned money. Now, who are those people that trade Forex? We have the central banks, like I mentioned earlier. We have institutional investors. Institutional investors are those guys that trade the Forex market in a large quantity. These are guys that put billions and trillions into the Forex market. They are actually the ones, most of these, the central bank, the institutional investors, the commercial banks, these are the guys that determine majorly what happens in the Forex market. And then we have the brokers. The brokers are those where you put your money. You put in your money with a broker. For you to be able to trade Forex, you need to deposit your money with a broker. For example, an example of a broker in Nigeria here is Hantech Global. So you can decide to deposit your money with them, and you have to trade with the money you have deposited with them. And then we have the individuals. Individuals are like you and I. We call ourselves the retail traders. We are not solely responsible for the movement of the market. These other guys I mentioned are the ones that are responsible for the major movements that happen in the market. So all we are doing is that we are riding on their back. I have the companies as well. There are companies that are involved in the Forex market. Now we take them one after the other. The central bank. How exactly does the central The central bank participates in the forex market as they lend money to banks, other banks. They issue notes and coins. They set inflation targets. They set interest rates. They act as a lender of last resort to the government. They ensure stable financial system. They also ensure growth and employment. And then they aim to achieve macroeconomic targets. By doing all these things, the central bank is one of the key players in the forex market. Now, how exactly does the central bank participate in the forex market? Contrary to what a lot of people believe, the central bank does not trade forex for profit. They are in the forex market to stabilize whatever is happening in the country, to stabilize the economy of the country. Now, let me give you an example. The Bank of Japan has to always keep the value of the Japanese yen low because the Japanese economy is dependent on the export of Japanese products, and countries won't want to order from Japan if their products are expensive. So it is the duty of the Central Bank of Japan to ensure that the value of their currency, the Japanese yen, is always low. Why? Because they need people to actually come and buy what they have to offer. And if you ask me, this is one major problem we have. For those of us who are in Nigeria, this is one of the major problems we have. Why? Because there are less people outside Nigeria who are actually ordering things that Nigeria is producing. And that is why you can see in just few months, our Naira skyrocketed, the exchange rate from about 360 to about 380. That's an extra 100 Naira per dollar. So this is an example of how the central bank involves itself in the forex market. They don't actually do it for profits. They make different policies in order to regulate their country's economy. So the major aim of the central bank is to regulate the country's economy, and this in turn affects the forex market. When you start trading forex, you will start hearing news. There is news there, there is news there. Sometimes the major moves that happen in the market are caused by news. And the key news events that you need to pay strict attention to whenever you start trading the forex market is the Consumer Price Index, CPI. Then we have the FOMC, we have the central bank rate decisions, we have the GDP, gross domestic product, and the unemployment rate. These are the key news events that the central bank releases that affect the country's economy and affect the exchange rate of currencies. Now we move over to financial institutions. This is the second people that are involved in the forex trading. They provide most of the volume that causes the market to move the way it does. These are the key players of the forex market. Sorry. So the financial institutions are the key players of the forex market. We have example over there in outside Nigeria. We have the Citibank, the JP Morgan Bank, we have UBS, we have the Deutsche Bank, Bank of America. These are all the key players of the forex market. As at the time of these statistics, which was in May 2016, the Citibank controls whatever is happening in the forex market. They control 12.9% of it. JP Morgan controls about 8.8%. The UBS controls about 8.8%, and so on and so forth. And that is why whenever you start trading forex, beware of major holidays, because those days the banks are on break. And when the bank
Ladies, can you unmute yourself, please? we can't hear you. I think his network took him out. Just a few minutes, he's going to get back in, okay? Hello, Blaze. Hello, Blaze. Can you talk now? You've been unmuted, but I can't hear you. We can't hear you, Blaze. Or am I the only one? If you can hear him, please type yes. If you can't hear him, type no. Blaze, we can't hear you. Please, can you fix your mic? Okay, I've unmuted you.
Hello, Peace.
Yes, okay.
I don't know what happened, but I don't know if someone took over I can't unmute myself. So I'll have to be talking through this place. Then I'll be sharing my screen here.
Okay.
I hope you can hear me now, right?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Sorry about that. I've been trying to unmute myself and I don't know what happened. All right. So like I was saying earlier, beware of major holidays because on those days the market does not move very well. So if you want to trade, let's say a currency pair that has the US dollar, you might want to be run away from that currency pair on the day when United States is on a holiday. Because when the bank of United, all the banks in United States are on holiday, the US dollars is not going to be making any major move that day. So the individuals are you and me. And thanks to the internet, you and I can now participate in the Forex market. Before, those days, people used to go all the way to the brokers and then you see them watching large screens and trying to place trades and all that. But with the advent of the MetaTrader 4 and the internet, a lot of people can now stay in the comfort of their home and trade the foreign exchange market without problem. So you can now use your phone from anywhere you are in the world and you can participate in the Forex market. You no longer need to go and start watching one big screen to know when the currency is going down or when it's going up. And you and I, as individuals, we are only responsible for 20% of the market movement. What that means is that 80% of the market movement is determined by the financial institutions, the banks out there. These are the key players in the Forex market. And that is why most people don't know that the money you keep in the bank, you and I keep in the bank uses it to trade Forex market. And they make a lot of money from it. But at the end of the day, they give us peanuts as returns, or what do you call it, interests. Now, let's move over to the time zones we have in the Forex market and the best time to trade Forex. When you come into the market, you find out that there are different time zones. The first time zone, the first market that opens in the day is the Sydney market. The Sydney market opens 5 p.m. European Standard Time and closes, that should be around 11 p.m. Nigerian time, and closes around, I think, 4 a.m. or thereabouts. In the next slide, you're going to see the Nigerian time. We have the Tokyo market. The second market that opens is the Tokyo market. After the Sydney market, you have the Tokyo market. And then we have the London market.
and then we have the New York market. Now, these are the different time zones. We have the trading hours. The Frankfurt and Paris, the London and New York opens about, the London market opens about 8 a.m. in the morning. And this is one of the major times you can trade Forex and actually enjoy. Then the other time there is what we call the London-New York overlap. What do I mean by the overlap? This is the time when the London market and the New York market is open at the same time. So at that point, you have a lot of volumes, trading volumes coming into the market, and a lot of people are making a whole lot of money trading the Forex market at this particular time. And then these are the sessions. The Sydney session opens 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes you find out that this shifts from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. depending on the, the daylight savings time. Then we have, under the Sydney session, we have the New Zealand and the Australian market. These two markets are what makes up the Sydney session. The Tokyo session opens 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. So the Sydney session opens by 10, and by 12 a.m., the Tokyo market also opens. It means that the Sydney and Tokyo markets are open at the same time from 12 a.m. While the Sydney market closes by 7, the Tokyo session closes by 8 a.m. And then we have the Frankfurt. The Frankfurt market opens at 7 a.m. And then we have the London session. All these sessions that are written in red are the major sessions. These are the times you can actually see the market move very well. We have the Sydney session, Tokyo, London, and New York. These are the major sessions you can trade Forex. The London opens 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The New York session opens 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then talking about them individually, we have the Sydney session. The Sydney session, the trading day officially starts with the Sydney session every single day. Like there's something I forgot to mention. The Forex market is only open from Monday to Friday every week. So 24 hours from Monday to Friday, you can trade the Forex market. Once it is Saturday, the banks are on break. So once the banks are on break, you cannot trade the Forex market. That is to show you that, like I said earlier, they are the major determinants of what happens in the foreign exchange market. So the trading day officially starts with Sydney session. The Sydney sessions opens every week, Sunday, 10 p.m. on Sunday nights. The Sydney session opens because of the difference in time, in our time and their time. That is why on Sunday night it opens. That Sunday night is actually their Monday morning. So it opens at that time. The trading day starts with that. And the currency pairs that are traded during this period, the currency pairs that are most likely to experience the best move at this time is the AUD and the NZD. The AUD stands for Australian dollar. NZD stands for New Zealand dollar. So these are the currency pairs that you can actually see movements. You can see them moving at this particular time. It is the smallest and the calmest session of all. And I want to tell you that you will not really enjoy trading this session as it is the smallest session. Now, what you are looking for when you start trading the Forex market is the session that has the biggest move. Because in the biggest move, that is where the money is. And then the Sydney session includes Australian market and the New Zealand market, like I said earlier on. And then we have the Tokyo session. The Tokyo session is the second session of the day. It has 6% of the Forex transactions that are carried out every day is done in the Tokyo session. It is the third largest Forex trading center in the world, which is Tokyo. And the currency that you can trade that have the significant move during this time is always the Japanese yen. JPY is an acronym for Japanese yen. And Japanese yen happens to be the third most traded currency in the Forex market. Part of Asian session is Sydney plus Tokyo equals Asian session. Then during this time, we have low liquidity and volume. So you also don't have a lot of moves happening at this time. Although when you come in and you start going into the technical part of the business, there are some times that you might have moves that happen at this particular time, especially when there are news coming from the Tokyo session. And during this period, we have the market is always, the markets always have higher spread. What do I mean by spread? Spread is the difference between the buy quotes and the sell quotes. So when you go to the bank and you see, let's say you go to your bank and you see that board where they put, we buy dollar at 465 and we sell at 470. The difference between the 465 and 470 is what we call spread. So in other words, it means the profit they make, the profit margin. So that is called spread. Now, the next session that opens is the London session. London session opens 8 a.m. and closes 4 p.m. It is the third session of the day. And the currency pairs that move most during this period is the GBP, Euro, and CHF. GBP stands for Great Britain Pound. EUR stands for Euro, European Euro, or Euro rather. Then CHF stands for Switzerland francs. These are the currency pairs that actually experience the highest move during this time frame. And then we have 34% of all Forex transactions are actually carried out during the London session. It is actually the most active trading session of the day. It has high liquidity and high volume and lower spreads. And this session also accounts for the major news releases. This is where you see news coming out. You see a lot of news from different countries coming out, especially those countries that are in the European Union and that use pound and Switzerland and France. Now we move over to the next session, which is the New York session. The new Peace, can you help me remove Jean Paul? Jean Paul is trying to take over my screen, please. The New York session is the last session of the day. And the currency pairs that experience move at this particular time is the USD, which is short form for US dollar, and the CAD, which is the short form for Canadian dollar. These are the pairs that move most at this session. The big moves actually take place during the New York session. 85% of the trades that are done every single day, 85% of the Forex market trades involves the US dollar. Volatility dies down after 6 p.m. Volatility means the movement in the market, how liquid the market is at a particular time. So after 6 p.m. GMT, 6 o'clock GMT, you find out that the market starts slowing down. Even though the New York session is still open, but the market starts slowing down. You no longer see big moves happening in the markets. And then the New York market also accounts for major news releases. At this time, sometimes you see the FOMC, you see a lot of other news that we are still going to go into later. And then, what are the best times to trade Forex? It is not enough for you to just come out and say, I'm a Forex trader, and then you just jump into the market and buy and sell. There are times that you can actually experience high liquidity in the market and high volatility. These are the times where you are supposed to trade. And the overlap of the London and the New York session actually accounts for this high liquidity. So this is the time where you can actually trade this market and you see a lot of big moves happening. And this actually happens between 1 p.m. to about, I think, 4 p.m., where you have the London and the New York markets open at the same time. So two major world markets are open at the same time. The London-New York overlap is the most liquid. London-Tokyo overlap is another good time for you to trade. In the morning, early in the morning, when the Tokyo market is still open, there's a time when it overlaps with London for 1 hour, and that is around 8 a.m. You can also see good moves in the market, but at that point in time, you see a lot of what we call trap moves, where if you don't know exactly what you're doing, the market might confuse you that it's trying to go one way and it goes the other way. The worst times to trade Forex. The worst time to trade Forex is during the New York session. That is after 7 p.m. For you to actually analyze trade and open a trade around 7 p.m., it means that you are willing to be in loss for a very long time before you actually experience profits. So whenever it's 6 p.m., as far as I'm concerned, personally, once it's 6 p.m., I no longer look to open new trades. I either carry them over to the next day, or I open those trades if I know that I'm willing to take the maybe I'm willing to be in loss for a little while. During the start of the Sydney session, it is also a very bad time to start trading, because a lot of things that happen in the market that period is what we call trap moves. They confuse you that they want to go one way, and before you know it, you start saying, the market is going down. You start selling. Before you know it, they start buying. And then we have the non-overlap times. Those periods when you have only one session that is open is another bad time for you to trade the Forex market. Then we have also the major holidays. It is very bad. Like I said earlier on, I've said this before. When you want to trade the Forex market, and let's say the pair you want to trade has US dollar in it, and today happens to be holiday in the US, please be very careful. Do not trade on major holidays. For instance, you come 25th, 26th, 27th December. During this period, you have the market. You can trade Forex then. But the moves that happen then are very, very small. So you might not actually make good profits. Now, take a look at what you have on your screen here. Over here on the extreme right, where you have the slanting box, this is the kind of move you want to catch in the Forex market. If you happen to enter the market when you have this happening, where the market is just going in small, small moves, you are going to be in a lot of loss. So what every Forex trader, the dream of every Forex trader is to catch this kind of move from here to here. Over here is what we call, the market is either ranging. Some people prefer to use ranging, or there is another term for it. Some people will tell you that the market is, what is it again? I've forgotten. But it's actually called ranging. So whenever you see this happening in the market goes up small, it comes down small, goes up small, comes down small. A lot of people don't want to be caught in this. Yes, someone is saying choppy. You can also say the market is choppy. Yeah. All right. So rather consolidation. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So over here, you say the market is consolidating. So you don't want to be caught here, because when you are caught here, that is when you start praying to your God. God, please get me out of this trade. And then this is where the market is making the major move. If you find yourself in this particular place, from here to here is going to get you a lot of profits. So market is making major moves here to the downside, and this is possibly due to news release, larger volume of volatility, larger candlesticks. Direction is obvious here. But over here, the direction is not obvious. You don't know whether the market is going to go down or is going to go up. And you don't want to be caught in something like this. So we move over to this part where we teach you how to understand your trading window. But before I go into understanding your trading window, many of us might have seen people post this online. They tell you, I made so and so amount. But the idea is this. What actually is the name of this app that people use to trade that gives you this profit? So I want you to write it down. And when you leave this training today, if you have not actually downloaded it, go and download it. It's called MetaTrader 4. Meta, M-E-T-A, MetaTrader 4. That is the platform where you place all. So you can either have this on your phone. What you are looking at here is the phone screen. There's also another one for the laptop. You can also download it on your laptop. So this is the MetaTrader 4 for your mobile phones. If you have Android, if you have, iOS, you can download MetaTrader 4. That is where you place every trade. So this is a proper screen of MetaTrader 4. Before you do that, what exactly does everything? We start with the balance. The balance is the amount of money you have when you have no open positions. So whenever you open your MetaTrader 4 and you see balance 500, and your currency, the currency that your MetaTrader 4 is in is dollar, it means that you have a balance of $500. So looking at this here, you see 106,331. So what it means is that this person has a balance of $6,000+ in this account. The amount changes. The amount in the balance changes based on the amount every day. So if this guy makes a profit and closes all his trades in profit, the amount you are going to have here is going to be greater than this 106,000 you are looking at. Then the next one is the equity. What is equity? Equity shows your balance plus your profit or losses. So whenever you see equity, it means that your profit or your loss has been added to your balance to give you this equity. If you take a look at this, you will see that this person, a total of all the trades he has here is $3,327 profit. So if you add that to his balance, that is what gave you this $109,050. So if this was actually a loss, let's say this guy was losing $3,000 here, plus minus his losses, which is going to give also moves. Because when you 1,179 you are seeing here, it is not steady. As far as you have not closed your trade, you have trades that are open, this amount will keep moving as far as the exchange rate is fluctuating up or down. So you find out that the amount you have here as your profit is always changing. Also, the amount you have as your equity is always changing. Because if this reduces to $2,000, this will no longer be plus $3,000. It will now be plus $2,000, which will give you about $108,000 plus. So it is always changing. So equity, your equity plus is equals balance plus floating profits or losses. It is floating because it has not closed. It is still, these are all open profits still running. Then the next one is the free margin. What is the free margin? Sorry, let me go over to the chat box. I think some people, okay. All right, the free margin represents the available money you have in your account to trade with and open new positions. Some people will ask, what does that mean? Now, the fact that you have $106,000 here does not mean that you can open trade with all these amounts here. There is actually a limit to the amount you can use to open trades. And this depends solely on the amount of open trades you have. So the reason we have this lower than your balance is because you have trades that are open here. We have a lot of trades that are open. So your free margin is equal to your equity minus your margin. There's another one here called margin. So for you to get your free margin, you need to deduct the margin from your balance. It gives you your free margin. Now, what I want you to know is that you don't need to know all these things. Like, you don't need to cram all of them to be able to trade the Forex markets. You understand? Well, we are just explaining this to you so that when you come to your MT4 and you see all these things, you will not start asking, what are these things? Your free margin is equal to your equity minus your margin. So the free margin you have might not be the same with the one that Mr. B has, because your balance is not the same with his own and your margin is not the same with his own. So there is no actual amount that will say this is free margin for everybody. No, it all depends on your balance and your margin. Equity, free margin, and balance. At the end of the day, let's say you have no open position on your MT4, your MetaTrader 4. You have no single trade running. Your equity, free margin, and your balance should all be equal. So if this guy here closes all these trades he has here, his equity is 109,000. His balance will also come to 109,000, and his free margin will also come to 109,000. That is when you have no open positions. The three of them must be equal. Then we have the margin level percentage. The margin level percentage is the ratio between your equity and your margin. When your margin level reaches 100%, you cannot take new positions anymore. So if you take a look at this guy has a margin level percentage of 1,858%. So this, which means that as these trades are still open, this guy can still take more positions. But if this margin level starts reducing until it gets to below 100%, this guy can no longer place trades. So you may not be able to take new positions, and you stand a risk of having to lose your closed trades automatically. So once this amount goes below 100%, if you are not careful, your broker will start closing down some of your trades that are in losses, so that this percentage can actually come up. So the broker will start closing out your biggest losing positions. What does that mean? If you have 3 losing trades, one is you are losing $100, the other one you are losing $500, the other one you are losing $250, and your margin percentage goes below 100%. If your broker wants to close your trade, they are going to close the biggest loss, which is $500. They will close it automatically. So no matter what you do not let this margin level percentage drop below 100%. The next one there is the margin. The margin is the down payment needed to get you in a trade. This is non-leveraged money. Now, what does it mean? In the event of a margin call, the broker closes your biggest loss, like I said earlier, and also takes the amount in the margin from your account. So let's say that this guy, all these trades that are in profit are actually losses. And because of that, his margin level reduces to, let's say, 95, or let's say about 80-something%. And his broker will have to close some of his trades. If it happens that the margin level percentage starts decreasing the more, if the broker closes all his trades, they will not only deduct the amount he lost from his trade, they're also going to deduct this amount that is available in your margin here from your balance. The more positions you open, the higher your margin. So this is the cost that you are paying for opening for all your trades you have running in your empty MetaTrader 4. So whenever you see this margin, it means the cost you have to pay for your open positions. And then this is the how the laptop MetaTrader 4 looks on your laptop. You have all these things you have here. You have the balance, the equity, the margin, free margin, and the margin level percentage. So everything you are seeing here is also available on your MetaTrader 4 on your laptop for those who would like to trade with their laptop. All right, so we move over to the next one. What is a pip and a pipette? Now, if you have not written anything I said down since I started, please bring your pen and your paper and start writing. This is where it gets technical, because this is where the major thing comes in. If you are a Forex trader and I tell you 10 pips and you say, what is pips? Just go and delete your MetaTrader 4 because you've not started. Now, what is a pip? Pip is actually an acronym for price interest points. Price interest points. It is the unit of measurement used to express the change in value of the market. So for every single move that a currency pair makes in the market, it is actually measured in pips. Just like you measure your distance in kilometers, you measure length and width, you measure height and all those things. The measurement of every single movement made by a currency pair is done in pips. So if I tell you 10 pips, as a Forex trader, you should be able to know this is 10 pips or that is 10 pips. It is the smallest change in a currency pair. In most currency pairs, it is the 4th number after the decimal place. So for every currency, major currency in the world, let's say, like what we have here in my screen is actually GBP USD. What does that mean? Great Britain pound against US dollars. So what it means is that if you come to Nigeria and you are exchanging Naira for dollar, it means what you have traded is USD NGN. USD is dollar, NGN is Nigerian Naira. So over here, we have a quote for GBP, Great Britain, British pound, and US dollar. So some brokers offer prices that are up to 5 figures. Many brokers I know, they only offer, after this decimal place, 1.3536, many brokers stop at that fourth decimal place. They don't include the fifth one. But there are also some brokers that go further to include a fifth number. And whenever you see a fifth number added to your currency exchange value, it means that you have a pipette. That fifth number there is called the pipette. So like I said, some brokers offer prices that are up to 5 figures after the decimal place. These are known as pipettes, but the pip always remains the fourth digit. So example, like I gave you, if you have 1.3536, the 6 here, which is the fourth number after the decimal place, is the pip. And the 1 here, which is the fifth number after the decimal place, is the pipette. So we are going to go into how to calculate the pips, how to calculate pips and know, okay, how many pips is this, how many pips is that. So let me use an example here. The Euro USD, which is the Euro and US dollar, at 1.2537. What this means is that the value of 1 euro is the value of $1, sorry, is 1.125 euros. Now, let's say someone took a trade, Euro USD at 1.12537. Person exited the trade at 1.1. Ignore the pipette now because it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's not significant. I just mentioned this so that you understand. Not when you come out tomorrow and you see your broker has 5 digits after the decimal. You say, why is my own 5? If it's 5, it's called the pipette. The fifth number is called the pipette. But many brokers, majority of the brokers only stop at the 4th digit. So you need to pay attention to the 4th digit. Let's ignore the last one. So if this happened, the question now is, how many pips was this? So what you need to do is to take the entry point and deduct it from the exit. The entry was 1.1253, and the person exited the trade at 1.1418. If this happens, all you need to do is take the the entry price and deduct the exit price from it. And if you do that, you are going to have 0.01644. So you are going to ignore the negative sign. It's not important. Now, if you do this, all you need to do now is to divide whatever value you get here. This particular means of getting your pips is actually technical. There are other ways that I will still talk about in the next slide that is actually less technical than this one. So if you take whatever you get from deducting your entry price from your exit price from your entry price, if you divide it by 0.001, whatever amount you get is the number of pips the person made. So for every single money you make in Forex market, it is calculated in pips. You will see someone will come out to tell you, I made 100 pips from Euro USD. So this is what the person means. Some people prefer calculating the money they make in trading in terms of pips and not in terms of dollars. Some people actually also prefer calculating theirs in dollars. Personally, I prefer using the pip. If I make 10 pips, I know I made 10 pips. Now, the difference between this 1.218 is actually 100. Like I said earlier, whatever value you get here, you divide it by 0.0001. The reason you divide by 0.001 is because the pip is the 4th digit number. Now, there is another way you can do this without actually stressing yourself, and that is this. If you actually deduct this exit from the entry and you get this 0.01644, all you need to do is, if you times this by 10,000, you get 1. Then there is another way, which is the simpler way of doing it, is move your decimal points 4 places to the right. So we had 0.01644. All you need to do is move this decimal point 4 places to the right by this 1, 2, 3, 4, just like it is done here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's still going to give you 164.4 pips. So these are the various ways you can actually calculate your pips. By the time you start trading, you find out that someone like me, I don't need all these plenty things to calculate my pips. These are all stress as far as I'm concerned. Why? Because I'm already accustomed to the market calculation and get the number of pips I made. So by the time you keep going, you are better than this and simpler than this. Now, this is another way, calculation of pips. Okay, sorry, this is an example using a live trade. Let's say this man entered this trade at this. This is the entry point, and this is the exit point. The thick line here is the entry point, and the dotted one is the exit point. And if you take a look very well, you are going to see the prices on those lines. On this line, you have a price of 1.12692. And the exit was at 1.13019. So what I need to do is deduct the exit from the entry, and I get 0.00327. And all I need to do is slide this decimal place 4 places to the right. And if I do that, I'm going to get how many pips? 32.7 pips. I'm using this because it's actually the simplest of them all. Instead of doing division and multiplication and all that, just slide your decimal place 4 places to the right, and you get the number of pips. Now, there are exceptions to this rule. I told you that the rule of pips is that the fourth number after the decimal place is your pip. There are some pairs that don't apply, that rule does not apply to them. And the major ones are the yen pairs and the gold. Yen is Japanese yen. Any pair that has JPY in it, the rule of the 4th digit place does not apply to it. And then also when you are trading gold, the rule of the 4th digit place does not apply to the gold. So on these pairs, the 2nd digit number after the decimal place is the pip. The reason is this. Let's go back a little bit. If you take a look at this, you'll find out that before the decimal place here, there is only one number. When you talk about Euro USD, you talk about GBP USD. These are the major currency pairs that are traded in the market. You talk about AUD USD. You talk about USD CAD. All of them have one thing in common in terms of their prices. They only have one number before the decimal place. And that is why you have their pip as the 4th digit number after the decimal place. Now, take a look at this Japanese yen. You'll find out that there is a difference. In USD JPY, for instance, USD JPY is United States dollar and Japanese yen. You find out that we have 3 numbers before the decimal place. We have 110.23. 110.23. That means there are, when it comes to the Japanese yen, there are actually more figures before the decimal place. And that is why the 2nd digit number after the decimal place is the pip here. So what it means is that 110.23 to 110.25 is just 2 pips. Because the difference between 3 and 5 is just 2. So if I am to get 10 pips from this 110.23, all I need to do is to add 10 to this 23, and you get 110.33. That is 10 pips. Then there is also gold. Gold also has, I think about, is it 2? No, gold has 4 numbers before the decimal place. And the same rule applies to gold. So let's say in the case of USDJPY, I hope you guys are writing this because, like I said, this is the technical aspect. So you need to write everything you see on the screen down. 2.537 at 111.281. How many pips was that? All you need to do is take your entry like we did in the other one. Take your entry and deduct your exit from it. You get 1.256. But this is not the pips you had. You now need to divide this by 0.01. Now, on the other one, we did 0.001. because it was the fourth digit number. Here we are doing 0.01. And then you get 125.6 pips. You might want to ignore this one. This is a long process of doing this. Also, you might want to ignore the second one. You talk about the easier method, which is move your decimal places your decimal points 2 places to the right. So if I get this 1.256, what it means is like the other pairs I told you, the 5 is the pip, the 6 is the pipette. All I need to do is move this decimal point 2 places to the right, and I get 125.6. So what it means is that from 112.537 to 111.281 is 125 pips. So this is a live example from the currency pair USD JPY. You find out that it is exactly what I told you. There are 3 numbers before the decimal place. So we have 1110.190. So this trade was entered at 111.044 and exited at 110.529. So what is the pip here? If you calculate that, you'll find out that if you deduct the exit from the entry, you get 0.515. So if you slide this decimal pips, all right, wow, we actually have come to the end of today's training. Remember, we told you earlier that this is a 3-day training. So we have been able to take you through the key parts, the beginning parts of this training of becoming a Forex trader. Like the Queen of Pips said earlier, this is a journey. It is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So if you want to be a Forex trader, you have to be very patient throughout your learning process. Don't just come and into the Forex market and make the mistakes that a lot of us made. When I started the Forex market, the first amount I put into the Forex market, I wasted everything because I thought it was go come, you know. I entered after 2 weeks, I started trading. Blaze, you can do it. After all, I saw myself as someone who is tech savvy. But being tech savvy is not enough for you to trade the Forex market. So you need to actually take your time, learn the process. You can't just say you want to become a doctor and you go and look for, you go out there and see someone who had an accident and you start performing an operation on the person. No, it's not done. So you need to calm down through the learning process. One thing you need to know is that for you to be a very good Forex trader, you need to get a mentor, someone who has been doing it for a very long time, who is going to take you through the process. And that is what we have just started with you here today. So for those of us who followed us from Twitter, when you get back to Twitter, if you have not actually followed, some people saw our message from Don Jazzy's status and decided to become a part of this. So if you know you are not following the Queen of Pips, I think if you go back to Twitter, you're going to see the username. Or when she comes on board, she's going to say something before we end. She will also tell you her username. So do well to follow her because we are going to be giving assignments now before we close. And those assignments are going to be submitted on Twitter. And that is going to be your key to attending tomorrow's training. If you don't do your assignment, if we don't mark you as you've done your assignment, tomorrow's training is going to come with a password. So it is only those who have actually done their assignment that is going to be given the password to join the meeting tomorrow. So please go on Twitter. She's going to put, please write down your Twitter username on the chat box so that people can follow you on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, like someone said is not on Twitter, fine. Wherever you actually saw this, the post of this training, go back there. If it's on my WhatsApp status, if it's on the WhatsApp status of Queen of Pips, or you saw it on Instagram, wherever you saw it, go back there, submit your assignment, and we are going to give you the password to attend tomorrow's training. So please put down your username, your Twitter username. Mine is at Okolichidozie3. So you can actually follow me on Twitter, submit your assignment to either me or the Queen of Pips. So before we go to the assignment, please, are you still online? Maybe you will have to say one or two things before we go over to the assignment so that they copy it down. So I want to thank every one of us for being part of this training today. I sincerely hope you enjoyed what we had. Tomorrow is even better than today because what we've just given you is, I will call it the how will I put it, the beginning part of what you need to become a good Forex trader. And as far as you've not come in contact with what Forex is, many of these things we have said here today, you might not understand because I know many people don't know what is Pips. Many people don't know a lot of things. So follow us on Twitter. We are going to submit your assignment and you get the password to be a part of the training tomorrow. So Peace, over to you. I don't know if you have anything to say before I open the assignment.
Thank you so much, Golden Blaze. Please, we need to appreciate him for taking out his time to come and educate us. Do you know that I've been in this market for about 3 years plus, but I've learned something from what he's actually teaching. Learning is continuous. Learning is the continuous thing. As I speak with you, I still pay for Forex classes to people who are actually better than me, people who actually have more experience than myself, to learn more and to also model what they're doing. So if you actually appreciate what Golden Blaze did, can you type a 555 on the chat box to tell him thank you for this wonderful session that he actually gave us today? 555, thank you. And now let me tell you how the assignment is going to go. You know, one thing about learning, it's not just about taking everything in. You will not understand everything. Yes, Blaze, he said some things technically that some people might actually be, I don't know this, what is he talking about? You understand? But let me tell you, as time goes on, that's why I said it's not just about the 3 days. You are going to be part of our lives. We are going to be part of your life. Everybody on this call, because I need to do what? Vet the people who actually want to learn. Those are the people that are going to come to my inner caucus. Those are the people that I'm going to take from just beginner, take you to intermediate, and also take you to advanced. Because what I want everybody on this call is for you to be a better version of yourself, for you to create your own economy. Because what's happening right now, even the strongest country are going into recession, let alone Nigeria, that is in the number 5th in the poorest country worldwide. So imagine that you have something doing for you at the comfort of your home. All I need, like I said earlier, for those who started, the first time for me to step my leg out of my house was actually yesterday. On Sunday, I went to church. I came back from church. Monday till about yesterday, I did not step out of my door. I was inside my house. I was making money. That is what I want you to enjoy. Now, the assignment is going to go this way. Okay? I know some people have my contact. Some people don't have my contact. But eventually, everybody on this call is going to be in a WhatsApp group, because this is going to be like a mentorship class. I'm not just, this is, like I said earlier, this is a beginner's class, okay? So if you have the understanding of what Forex is all about, this is not for you. These are for people who want to benefit from the Forex market, who wants to learn how to trade in the Forex market, okay? So the assignment is going to show you after I'm done talking. You are going to answer your assignment on Twitter. Because before you could get to me, Don Jazzy had to do what? He tweeted it. Okay? So I want you to do what first? He twisted his link on Handtech. If you've not opened the broker we're using, is called the Handtech broker. If you've not opened an account with Handtech, you go to Don Jazzy's space, click on his link, and you'll see the link, open an account, because we are not just going to learn, we're still going to make money. Because by the time you leave from beginners to intermediate, to advanced, to master trader, you are going to be a better version of yourself. If it's $50, that's going to be okay for you on a daily basis, fine. If it's $100, if it's $1,000, we're going to call trades by ourselves. We're going to take the trades and all that. This is going to be for those who are willing to learn. Everybody's going to be in an inner caucus. It's not just going to be a public thing now, but I need to vet this number. because not everybody is going to actually do this thing. They just want it from the back door. No, I need people who are willing to do what? Learn the skill of Forex trading. So when he's going to show you the assignments, you are going to tag Don Jazzy, you are going to tag myself, you're going to tag Golden Blaze. That's the person, the host that actually gave us the presentation. Tag your answer, post it on Twitter. Okay? If possible, you tag Handtech as well. This is how you generate. You know one thing about, just like how the let's say about the protest that's happening now. It started as a what? As an idea before it became a reality. And people started going out to protest this, end the SARS and end the SARS. Before you know it, the government will actually take this into consideration. That is the same thing with the education and the vision I have for Nigerian youth. We need to do what? Forget about what the government is actually doing. They're not providing this, and build your own economy in Nigeria. You can actually tell yourself how much you want to earn on a daily basis. Okay? So please, I'm going to post it on the chat box. Answer your question on Twitter. If you got this thing from Twitter, answer your question on Twitter. Yes, you can download Handtech from your app. Go to your Play Store or you go to your Apple Store and you download Handtech, okay? So I'm going to put my Twitter handle. I'm going to put Blaze's Twitter handle. And also, I'm sure everybody have Don Jazzy's Twitter handle, okay? So these are the people that you are going to go and tag and answer your question. Those who actually did it, then you cannot get my personal contact where you can reach me on WhatsApp, and I'll put you in the mastery group. That is a group that I'm going to take to another level. We're not just going to have an online class, we're also going to have offline class where you're going to see me one-on-one, how I teach and what's happening in the forex market. Now let me explain, give you a brief meaning of what Blaze actually said. When he's talking about London session, New York session, Tokyo session, let me come down to our Nigerian language. What it means is that you wake up in the morning, the office is open by what? 8 o'clock. Central Bank is open by 8 o'clock. Your local bank is open by 8 o'clock. As soon as it's open, transactions start happening. People come to deposit money, people come to withdraw money, international business is going on. That is what it means when he says Tokyo session has opened, New York session has opened. This is the opening of the day for what? Transaction to start. Remember, because of different time zones, that's why you can see that the timing are not the same. The New York and London and Tokyo, they're on Asian session. They're different because the world have different times so when I wake up and when I go back to bed. Okay? As time goes on, you're going to understand all these things you're seeing here. Let me tell you, let me give you something. What if someone don't worry, even if you get it wrong, if you get the answer wrong, don't worry. For the fact that you even made an attempt to answer it is something that, yes, you want. If you give a wrong answer and it's corrected, you learn something, okay? Failure doesn't mean it's over. Failure means the nearest, how's it called? Failure makes you closer to your success, okay? Because by the time you fail, you're not going to make that same mistake again. You're going to do another thing for you to correct that mistake you've made. That gives you closer to your game. So anybody that says, oh, I don't want to do it because I want to fail, forget about it. Failure is nothing. Failure is a stepping stone for you to get to success, okay? I feel like I told you earlier when I started, I actually lost so much money. I've lost over 4 million naira when it comes to trading in the forex market in the space of 6 months. I've lost that. Please, ma, I'm not active on Twitter. Please, how will I know? How will you know? Please, how will you know when I post my? Don't worry. After you tag me, I'm going to take my time to read everybody's post. I'm not the only one that's going to read it. Golden Blaze is going to read it and all that. He's going to send the question very soon. So you can screenshot it, you can snap it with your phone and go back home, do your research. If you like, go to Google. The main thing is that for you to understand something is for you to get the answer yourself. Like I said earlier when I started, it's not the food that you take that is important, but the nutrients that your body digested. So it's not the information or everything that Blaze was saying here that is important, but the one that you do what? That you took in and you're going to take into practice. So Blaze, please, can you share the assignment? And share the assignment, let people see it. Okay, now this is the assignment, okay? 1 to 7. So what you're going to do is you tag myself, Contact Speaks, you tag Golden Blaze, you tag Don Jazzy, and you answer your question. Number 1, what is Forex, okay? Number 2, who trades in the Forex market? Number 3, what are the major determinants of the currency exchange rate? Number 4, how many pips is in a move? How many pips is a move from this to this? How many trading sessions do we have, and name them? Pips is usually the fourth number after the decimal place. Name the 2 major pairs that has exceptional to this rule. Okay, now these are the stuff. Number 7, define the following: balance, margin, margin percent, leverage, equity, and free margin. So this is the assignment. Take a picture. You can take a screenshot, snap it, and let's see your answer on Twitter. By 8 o'clock tomorrow, I'm going to be the one to take the class. It's going to be more technical. We're going to go to more details on how this is all about. Now, you're not going to get everything today, trust me. But continuous learning, like they said, practice makes perfect. Continuous learning will do what? Will make you better when you're doing your trading. All right? So don't feel bad if you don't get everything today. It's not compulsory. You won't get everything. But tell me, well, what I know, what I promise you is that if you continuously doing what you're doing, studying, improving yourself, you're going to get better. Okay? So you can type your questions now on the chat box and we can answer you, okay? Should we answer the question on paper and snap it? Beautiful. If you can answer it on paper and snap it, no problem. Okay? If you can answer it on paper, snap it for us to read, we'll answer your question. But just tag the people that I said earlier, Golden Blaze, myself, you tagged on Jazzy, and this is it. Then tomorrow is going to be mind-blowing. I'm going to take the class tomorrow. Can we send the answer to your WhatsApp? No, for now, it's on Twitter. Okay? Now it's on Twitter for now. Because that will make me know the people that's going to actually come to my circle, people that I'm going to take normal training, the personal training, to go technical, to go more fundamental when it comes to forex markets. Please, ma, what's your Twitter handle? I can see the broker Handtech. Let me type it. Blaze, I think I've unmuted you. Handtech broker.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Someone was actually saying they are not seeing the screen. So if you are not seeing the screen, you can actually zoom in. Zoom is actually designed in such a way that you can zoom in and zoom out. So if you are not seeing it clearly, try to zoom in. You can be able to do that so that you copy down the assignment. So I believe that will solve the problem of I'm not seeing the screen well.
Okay, I'm can actually hear you.
Peace.
Yes.
I want to write, after they are done with copying the assignment, I want to write what do you call it? The Twitter handle on maybe another page and then share it so that they can see. Because some people are asking that I write it down and share
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. You can actually, yes, you can do that. Why are they do that and you now share everything together? It's
okay,
fun.
you have to make me a host on my phone so that I'll use my phone.
The one you're talking with?
Yeah, no, not the one I'm talking with. The other one.
All right, I'll do that right away. So I'm sure everybody's writing it down. He's going to post each handle on Twitter. You know, one thing about education, one thing about knowledge. Knowledge is a potential power. People say knowledge is power. It's not power because you've not made use of it. It's a potential power. When it becomes power is when you take what you've been taught and put it into practice and you make money from it. That is when knowledge becomes power. So it's not about, I want to make money. I want to do this. The main thing that actually what I love so much about Don Jazzy, as busy as he is, with the amount of money he has, he takes his time to do what? To learn. Those who started with me, I said he did not just get to know me when I started. My value that I brought to the table, you have seen the result. It was the result that did what? That made the attraction for him to say, I want to know who this person is. This is someone that I tell him this is what to do, this is what to do. He takes it. You know one thing about successful people, they listen to instruction. Some people will go back and they won't do this assignment. Some people will go back and they will go back to, now, if you're trading live, I want you to stop trading your live account. Everybody is going to open a demo account. If you are trading live, stop it. You open a demonstration account where you can practice what we're going to teach you for this period. I'm going to take you on the mentorship class. Okay? That will build your confidence. So when you go live, it will be better for you. Do you get me? So please take down this thing and take it into practice. You never know what is going to be of you tomorrow. I would want you tomorrow to tag me on your post and say, oh, thank you, Miss Peace. I'm actually making money from the Forex market. I'm actually doing this. Amaka, please, can you type? Okay. I'm actually making money on the Forex market now. I'm doing this. I can take care of my bills. I can do this. I can do that. That is my joy. I want you to be better. I don't want tomorrow you're still going to be the same person. You're blowing your account. You're doing this. No. I want you to be a better trader. There's a difference between a profitable trader and a gambler. A profitable trader is someone that goes to the market and come back every month. Their capital is increasing. If you notice, what made me to open a smaller account was I saw somebody. Oh, I saw someone